PJ West.
Hi, I'm Ann Galloway.
Thank you for your time, and I'll try not to waste it. What is your full name?
Ann Galloway.
When and where were you born?
I was born in Los Angeles, California in September 3rd, 1948.
Wow. What did you do for, did you ever have an obstacle in your life?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm going through one right now.
What did you do for a living at the time of your obstacle?
I was an eligibility supervisor. I worked for Los Angeles County, the Department of Children and Family Services.
Describe an obstacle you have faced in your life in at least 5 detailed sentences.
Okay, well, I was on a routine visit to the doctor. She had some lab work done, had me to do some lab work, I should say. And I went to see what the results were. And at the time, she was telling me that my blood count was low. However, which usually means you're anemic. However, my iron was high, so she couldn't understand it. So what she did was sent me to a hematologist. That's a person that studies blood, and hematologist slash oncologist. Okay, the oncologist, other. During this time, before the visit, during the time, I was tired all the time. When I got home from work, I'd have to lay down and take a nap. Now, they tell me 2 hours is not a nap, but that's how long I would sleep, approximately 2 hours before I would get up. When I went to the hematologist, he did lab work also. And at the time, that visit, he did a bone marrow biopsy. Oh, that was something that I never, at that time, I was like, oh gosh, I never would have wanted to do that had I known what that was and what it was about, how it was. Told me, oh, it's not going to be bad, it'll only take a few minutes and blah, blah. So, but anyway, that was what I went through at that particular time.
When and where did this happen?
Well, it occurred in October 2009, and well, I was in the doctor's office when I was told of this obstacle. And okay, yeah.
How did it change? How did it change your life?
How did it change my life? Well, the doctor gave me a diagnosis from all the lab work and the biopsy. And he told me that I had multiple myeloma. He explained a little bit about it, because I had never even heard of it, let alone know anything of it. At that time, I kind of freaked. I just was numb.
You sort of freaked out?
Yeah, kind of, somebody tell you you have something and they tell you also at the same time it's incurable and it's inoperable, so yeah, I kind of freaked out. I kind of wanted to scream, but the doctor said to me, he said, what are your thoughts? Talk to me. And I couldn't do anything but just sit there. Like I said, I was numb. I couldn't say anything.
You were nerve-wracked or something?
What?
Nerve-wracking? You like nerve-wracking?
Well, I can't say nerve-wracking, but I was just kind of freaked. I was scared. It kind of scared me. I left his office, and I was trying to decide, who could I call? And, I needed to talk to someone about this. And every person that I thought about calling or going to see, I thought of a reason why I shouldn't. I didn't want to tell my daughter, over the phone anyway. So I kind of kept it to myself a couple of months until I visited her. And when I visited her, I told her about it. And at that time, I told her, I said, don't worry, God has my back, and I'll be okay at that time.
What did you do to get through this hard time?
I know you missed something. You missed number 6. That's why I told you need to check what you do. I just answered number 6. How did it change my life is number 7. And how it changed my life, at the beginning, everything stayed the same. Eventually, which was a few months later, I began taking medication. I asked the doctor, what is this for? I mean, you're going to tell me I have something incurable, inoperable, and you're going to give me some medicine? And he told me it was to help me to live. I was referred to a bone marrow specialist and had a bone marrow transplant a few months later, quite a few months later. I became very weak, having a hard time doing for myself. I had to depend on others to do for me. I was no longer able to work. My diet changed, and my way of living just almost completely changed. I couldn't do anything. I was very weak. It was just hard. And during that time, when I had the bone marrow transplant, I was kind of surprised. I didn't know I was going to have chemotherapy. I mean, the hematologist told me he was going to give me a bout of it, and I did that one time, and I thought that was it. But I was told later, oh no, you're going to have chemotherapy when you go. That's part of this, That kind of freaked me out, both me and my daughter. But I told my daughter, the long and short of it is, I'm having the transplant. So we just have to deal with it. Number 8.
What did you do to get through this hard time?
I did a lot of praying. I tried to do what was asked of me by the doctors, and I also moved from California to Texas to live with my daughter and family. The most thing that I can say that I did was praying. When I got out of the hospital, they gave me a lot of medicine. I think I was taking about 10 or 12 medications at one time. They would give me all that when I was in the hospital. I stayed in the hospital for a month, and they were giving me all this. I went through getting blood transfusions and everything like that. So, this was a little hard, a lot different for me, But I did a lot of praying to get through by.
What did you learn from the obstacle that you overcame?
I learned to be very careful about germs. I also learned to use hand sanitizer more often. The doctors may say that I have not overcome this obstacle as of now. However, I feel that I have, so it's a matter of opinion. And like I say, prayer. Just keep praying.
What advice can you give to others if they have the same problem?
Well, I would say if anyone has to go through this, I would tell them, and this is quote, in quotes, trust in God. Remember, you can do all things through Christ. That strengthens you. So you got to think of 2 questions to ask me on your own. Nothing popped in your mind? Well,
Okay, I thought I would. If you hadn't gone through this, what would you be doing now?
well, I'd probably still be in California working still. Yes, still doing my job. I would have gone back to work.
I know you had a guy grandson.
Yes.
Would you hang around him more often if you had got this?
Yeah, after going through this, as I got stronger, but see, I didn't really begin to get stronger until I came out here, because I had the help I needed, both physically and verbally. I had 3 little grandsons running around, being able to help me. I had my daughter and my son, or I should say my son-in-law, but he's my son. And I had my niece, all here in the household to help me. They helped me even by telling me who's at first it was hard for me to allow people to help me, because I've always done for myself. I don't if I ask you for something, I ask you to help, I really, really need it, but I wasn't asking. They were telling me, you're going to do this and you need to do that, or you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And so that was, really quite a change. That was something else for me. And this is really something for someone to go through. Very difficult, but we can overcome.